going on?
Clear my throat.
Loud noise in 3, 2, 1.
It's the Shant and Adi podcast, you guys. Shant, how you feeling tonight, man?
Good. I'm excited. So I have to ask you before, I know, I'm great. Everything's great. Week's great. Did you sell a car yet, bro?
Were you thinking about that before we got on this call?
Please say yes.
This is embarrassing. I almost want to just... How's your week going?
Good, but before, so last week we spoke about, what did we speak about last week? We talked a bunch about
comfort zones, man.
Comfort zones, and then you sold me a pen. So, and you talked about how you haven't sold a car yet this month. It's September 19th. So did you sell one yet?
So we've had a very, very busy week at the store.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we've been able to keep up and take care of all of our catering orders. My father gets back tomorrow, if that answers your question in any way.
Okay, so that's a no. If anybody out there, man, just buy a freaking car from this guy. He's hurting.
So yeah, my dad gets back tomorrow, and hopefully all will return to normal. And so how's your week going?
Good. I'm freaking pumped, man. Actually, not sure if you guys remember, or if you remember, Arby, that remember my client, the guy unfortunately had cancer. He had to sell the house to move back to
the quick sale, of course. Yeah.
So we got it done, man. Got it done. I actually just came back right now, just because I dropped them off at the airport because they shipped their car and everything. So I was like, hey, I want to take you guys just last time to see them. So it was it was good, man. It's sad, but there's a lot of good in that, what happened. So it's exciting. I feel good. It's
not every day, Shant, that you meet somebody professionally and you build a very, very close, personal connection with them. So definitely something to be said about your personality. And actually, so last week we were talking about comfort zones, and this is definitely something that I think it's well within your comfort zone, is to develop that personal connection with people. And I was talking about how in episode 8 maybe we can discuss my anxiety.
Yes.
What do you guys think? Is this a good audio volume level?
Keep this
is this okay?
Upbeat,
I really hope it's okay.
Or else I'm positive some of you guys
know if it's going to work very well.
Think, oh my God, is something wrong with it? Nothing's wrong with me. I've been dealing with anxiety issues for years now, but it's way past that. Like, oh, he has like a social phobia, or like it has nothing to do with that. It's an internal mental struggle that I deal with.
Okay, so obviously, I've known you we've known each other our whole lives. If you guys didn't see Ari's post on Instagram with us, how old were we? Like a couple of years old, all together in a picture. So we've known each other for a long time. I never knew you had anxiety, and we've lived together too, technically, right? When we were younger. So when did it start?
So do you want me to start from the very beginning, and then we can, I guess, come to now? Because I didn't know I had anxiety. Like, it wasn't something that was I even had to see anybody for up until like my late 20s. I'm 31 now.
Okay, so it started recently.
It started a few years ago. I could say I've been dealing with anxiety, not to this degree, not to this level yet, since I was 2013, maybe.
2013, 6 years ago.
25,
when you got into
maybe 20. Yeah, 25.
Was that when you started in the restaurant?
Yes. So
Shock.
Basically,
shocking twist.
The funny thing is, it has nothing to do with the restaurant. I'd like to think that it does, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It might. You never know. Like physical conditions that led me to. But anyway, I was at a workshop and it was early morning. I hadn't eaten anything. And I have later on come to find out what the underlying reason is behind the anxiety. It's a major health phobia. Like, I can't hear about certain medical conditions. I don't like to hear about certain procedures. I don't like to see blood. I just, it's a little bit of everything. It's maybe hypochondria mixed with anxiety. So it's both. Hypochondria is a fear of like health conditions. Like, you always make up symptoms, right?
Yeah.
But I have actual anxiety, panic attacks that have stemmed from like hypochondriac tendencies.
Okay.
So you never actually know that you have anxiety until somebody tells you you have anxiety. So essentially, I was at that workshop, and long story short, I fainted in the class because they were discussing a medical procedure, something to do with like a transplant.
What workshop were you at?
Don't ask too many questions, man.
What workshop are you fainting at? Like, I just want to know. I'm sitting there at a workshop. I want to know what kind, that I see a random guy fainting. I want to know what, like, I'm trying to picture this.
Shat chametzi.
Okay.
Yev for shat chametzi yev kashes. Pastapana yev tad kezi adiga ador gagurgen vor garavarutunin yed pastes vor hok danis kor razit.
Gotcha.
So I was at that workshop and
wait, pause.
Yeah.
Do you want to cut that out?
No, I don't want to cut that out. Overhide, whoever understood our if not, I'm sorry. You got to find yourself a translator.
Yeah, hit me up, guys, if you guys want to know what he said.
Yeah. So I fainted, and nobody, they don't, obviously, in these sorts of public places, you don't know anybody. They're not allowed to touch you, so they're waiting on a paramedic to show up, and nobody actually wanted to believe I was okay. Like, why did you just pass out?
Yeah.
And the next week came around, and I have to go to this workshop. It was an 8-week workshop every Friday. And I couldn't go in. I don't know what was wrong. Like, I woke up that morning, I said, okay, I'm going to go. Obviously, in the back of my head, I hope I don't fucking pass out again this week.
I hate to laugh, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny thinking about it, but so I get to the door, and I can't walk in.
It's like something blocking you?
Yeah. I'm racy. Like, I can't get myself to walk in the door. And, I finally, like, all right, like, just go, like, you're going to be late. I sit down, 10 minutes goes by, I have to get up. I have to get my head spinning. I'm short of breath. My heart is beating really fast. I'm thinking it's about to happen again.
Does it feel like you're having like a heart attack or something?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, if you want to call it that. But ultimately, you get the actual diagnosis, and it's panic attack. You're having a panic attack, anxiety attack, whatever.
Yeah.
So I got through the class with a few different periods of me having to leave the class.
Yeah.
Like, every few minutes, it got like crunch time, fight or flight. I chose flight, but then came back. So constant flight, because I don't want to pass out in the class again.
Yeah.
So my anxiety has a direct relationship with passing out. Anything that I think that I'm going to pass out at, I don't want to be there. Keep this in the back of your head for a second, because it's going to start to become a rabbit hole now that I'm going to dig myself into. It's fucked up. It's totally fucked up because this is just one instance of passing out, right? So like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. As long as I stay the fuck away from this classroom,
you're good.
I'm good. I'm never going to pass out. So got through that class, and the following week I'm having anxiety before I even get to the class, before the night before. And I'm telling my brother about what's happening. And mind you, I had already seen a doctor. They took EKGs, they took blood work. They're like, everything's fine. Like, sorry, like, we don't have an answer for you.
Did they say panic attack then or no?
No, because they're just so fucking stupid that they don't tell you, or maybe they don't want to tell you so you don't freak out. So you just like relax.
Yeah, maybe.
So now I'm dealing with a mental issue, right? That I don't know what's going on, but clearly something is triggering panic attacks. I tell my brother this. I tell my brother what's going on.
Shout out to you, Sock. Go on.
And within like 3 seconds, he goes, bro, you need a Klonazepam? And I'm like, what the fuck is a Klonazepam?
Yeah.
And he goes, I take it for anxiety. And I'm like, I don't have anxiety. He goes, I think you got anxiety, bro. Because clearly you ain't passing out. You were fine a couple seconds ago or a couple days ago or whatever. And you're telling me that you're going to go into this class and you can't sit down. So you're having a panic attack, bro. And I started like putting 2 and 2 together, Googling and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, fuck it. Give me the pill. And I take the pill before the class and I get through the class. I get through it completely. And, you know, you still have these sort of racy thoughts, but you're just like, you don't feel like you have to fucking jolt out of your seat and I got to go to the bathroom again after fucking 10 times of already having gone to the bathroom. So I finally see a doctor or a therapist or whatever, and they tried to get me on antidepressants and stuff like that. Even now, because of how bad it's gotten now, my doctor wants me to get on SSRIs, which is basically helps out with anxiety, which is a form of depression. So I'm getting through all these years of having this underlying memory or like this traumatic event of passing out. And now I'm starting to relate every little instance. Like I'm on the highway and all of a sudden I have this feeling in my head. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm going to pass out. And you're driving 70 miles an hour on the highway. So now I have like specific like times. If I drank too much coffee that day and I'm on the highway, I can't fucking drive.
Wow.
It gets that deep. So this has been getting progressively worse and worse. However, my dealing with it to some degree has gotten a lot better. The fucked up part is that how I deal with the anxiety is by keeping my head busy, by working. And when I'm at work, I don't have anxiety.
Because you're just going, you're not thinking, you're just in motion. So you're just, is that, because I don't know how it works. I'm kind of ignorant to this. So if I ask stupid questions, so you're kind of just working, you're not thinking. When you're kind of like in a state where you have nothing going on, it comes back more. Is that how it works?
Like on the drive from the restaurant to here, I'll have a little bit of anxiety building. And it builds gradually until it comes out in form of, severe to moderate panic attack. So I have these episodes. I have these panic attack episodes where it's almost like imagine you're dreaming, right? When you're having a bad dream, a lot of people I know they kick or they do some movements or whatever when they're having a bad dream. But imagine you're having a really bad dream, but you're awake and nobody else around you knows what's going on. Maybe the people that know you really well will know, depending on how you're speaking and how you're, like right now, I'm having like a mild panic attack because I'm talking about panic attacks. So sometimes if you notice me, if I'm talking and I'm having a hard time saying whatever I'm thinking, it could be that I'm having anxiety or I'm having some sort of like struggle.
So is that why? Because like you're always doing something, right? You're always work. You're always like, is that why you're always doing something? Always trying to work to like.
I guess it's a motivation. Yeah, I guess
So you don't have to like think. So for me, like, I like when I'm not working, right? Like I get to just like not do anything, right? So you don't have that, I'm guessing.
I try to. Like I try to enjoy, like put it this way, we were at my boy's wedding, my boy Steve's wedding, and we had to be at the altar for like 40 minutes standing up.
Mm-hmm.
And all I kept thinking about in the back of my mind was like how awful it would be to die in front of everybody right now.
So, okay. So your anxiety is not like, shit, I'm here on vacation or I'm here and like thinking like shit, the business or what's going on with the restaurant. It's more like, I hope I don't fall in front of these people.
Or possibly die, because it's become a point now where it's not just the passing out. I convince myself that something is actually wrong with me. Like usually with really bad anxiety or hypochondria, you get really bad headaches that last, like they're chronic. They just stay with you. You get headaches. You're constantly dizzy. You get back pains. You get shoulder pains. You get all sorts of just discomforts.
Yeah, I get that.
It's inflammation. So what happens is when you have a lot of anxiety or your cortisol levels are constantly high, you get really bad inflammation all over your body. You get really bad headaches. So it's not, they're not made up symptoms.
Yeah.
They're actual symptoms. My doctor broke it down. Like, listen, you're dealing with a situation right now where you're constantly, you have constant the chronic anxiety, and what causes that physical symptoms to be there, to actually be there, is your cortisol levels.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and the fact that you don't work out and you're constantly working and you don't get enough sleep, you're constantly dealing with that. So my anxiety now isn't just so much thinking about, oh, I might pass out or whatever. I have to reset sometimes, see a doctor to just have him remind me, you're okay.
So why don't you, I mean, if working out, sleeping a little bit more, if that helps, why don't you just like say, hey, this is a little bit important, let me do it? Yeah,
I'm thinking about, I'm going to start working out a little bit to see how that helps.
Well, it's either, and, you know, sorry to be rude, but you're either thinking about it or you're going to do it.
Right. Okay.
That means I want you to do it.
So what about you, Shant?
Awkward.
Embarrassing things about yourself that you want to tell us? What about you? How do you, this is me stepping out of my comfort zone. Why don't you do that for you, out of your personal, not business comfort zone? Tell us some personal.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, it's more, I don't like, it's going to sound very weird, being around people a lot.
People you don't know?
Just people, friends. Like, it's weird, man. Like, let's say a friend of mine's having people over, they're having dinner, or like there's a fight, let's go watch it. And I'm just like, fuck.
I got to be around people.
Yeah. Or even people I know and I like, it's just, I don't like groups. I don't like, it's, you know what it is? Because I read a book, I forgot where is it. So I'm a natural introvert, right? And I didn't know this. I read the book where me as an introvert I get drained, like literally physically drained, right? You know, like you said, like the cortisol, it makes you feel like you get actual symptoms.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I believe that. So like me around people, it drains all my energy, right? So in the book, it says when you're, you know, like a super introvert, you either before an event have to go into your like an own space and just kind of like charge, or like right after,
You
like,
don't want to see anybody.
yeah, go be yourself and like just charge like your body back because you're so like exhausted. Like, so for me, like new people, groups, it's tough, man. I don't know where it comes from because my dad's outgoing. Like he's super outgoing guy.
You were always like, your mom has this issue.
Yeah.
Your mom doesn't like new people.
No, she doesn't.
Your mom and you guys share a very big.
I think my brother too. He's kind of
your brother's experimental, so he likes a little bit of like spontaneousness, and he likes to like do like wild shit, or like he likes to basically explore, like find out like something new, or like, oh, like we should travel here, or like something weird.
Mm-hmm.
You always like to stay within like you were kind of a little bitch, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You were a little bitch, man. Fuck, dude. Shant, sorry, bro. Sorry to put you on. You hugged your mom's leg a lot. Like,
did I?
Not actually. Maybe actually sometimes you did, but what I'm talking about is that you never really like to like go and like be with the other kids.
Yeah, I didn't.
I think that you have social anxiety, and you just don't know what that actually is.
Well, maybe it just affects me in a different way, right? I mean, but it's weird because I played team sports, right? You think someone like an introvert who doesn't like people would play like a sport where it's individual, right?
Yeah.
But I played basketball, team sports, and I liked that environment a lot.
I think that the sports brought you out of your.
It brought me to normalcy. Yeah, I mean, it probably. If it wasn't for basketball, I'd probably be a really weird person.
I think so too.
I'm serious.
No, I'm with you. I think that you, by playing sports, it was something that was interesting to you. Like it basically aroused your wanting to be wherever those people were, because you were there because of the sport being played. I think for me, I like people. I like to be around people. It's just I'm very, very selective. So like if you're trying to have a conversation with me, or like we're being social, I'd prefer to either talk about business, or I prefer to talk about cars, or I prefer to talk about maybe YouTube now.
Yeah.
And anything else, and I'm kind of just like hanging out by the bar, like talking to my very, very close friend, like whoever I came there with.
Yeah, so bro, I think we're the same in that, right? Because so all my friends, we would have like conversations about shit, right? Like they would be like, and you know, my friends, everything was like an argument, right? It would be like us going at each other. And a lot of times what people don't understand, and I hope that you guys are listening right now, they're like, oh, Shant, you're so like neutral. They say you just don't care, right? Or not don't care. You don't want to start something, right? You don't want to pick a side, Shant. You don't want to, it's always like, you don't want to pick a side. You want to be neutral. You want, like you said it to me the other day, you want to be, what is this, fucking Sweden or something? Switzerland?
Switzerland, yes.
Yeah.
I think I said Switzerland.
Yeah, but the thing is, what people need to understand, it's when they're talking about something they're so passionate about, and they're like picking a side. When I truly don't give a shit about the topic, I just really don't give a shit, and I'm just so neutral. Like I'm like, dude, like when people are talking politics, I literally zone out because I could literally care less what's going on. So when people are so heated and go into this conversation, like what happens is like, and this is kind of bad because it's not a good way to converse with people. I shut down my mind and I have no idea, like when the person's talking, I just start thinking about other stuff. And then I come back, I'm like, oh, the Trump won the election? Oh, great. Awesome.
Yeah, like
what happened? So it's weird, but like people are like, oh, dude, you have to have more of a, emotion towards it. I'm like, yeah, but if it's something I could care less about, I have zero emotion to it. But if we're talking about something like, if it's about basketball or if it's about, like creating something in business or YouTube, like when we talk, like I'll get into a deep conversation. But if it's something I don't care about, I'm like, right. Awesome.
I remember when I introduced you to one of my girlfriends at the time, and I remember the girlfriend saying like, I don't think your cousin likes me that much.
Which one was this?
I'm not saying the girl's name,
okay.
Man. It's fucking awkward now.
And what did you say?
And I'm like, yeah, my cousin Shant's just kind of quiet. And she goes like, really? Because you guys were like having the time of your lives, but like you wouldn't really even pay attention to me.
Yeah. So like, yeah, we could spend time. We could be at a table, me and you going crazy, ha ha ha, laughing. But then someone else comes and I'll just be like,
I know exactly what you're saying. I'm not like that, but
I know you're not.
I noticed that you are kind of like that. Do you think how do you is it because you're meeting somebody new? Are they like a foreigner in your world? That's why it's sort of like a defense mechanism?
It could be people I know. It could be you, me and you having a conversation. You could start talking about something. There's times I've shut down, like, because I'm like, just don't care.
You got to tell me when that happens, bro. I don't want to speak for nothing. Fucking weird.
But where it comes from, I don't know, man. Like, it's weird because I don't know if it's like subconsciously me, like, if it's ADD. I don't think it's ADD because I don't think I have it. If it's subconsciously, like in my head, I'm like, because one thing I hate is wasting time, right? I think stuff by the minute, right? Like by the minute. I'm like, okay, if we got to be there at 6:30, it's 3:30 right now, but we have to eat. We got to do this. We got to do that. Like we have to start moving, right? So I'm like thinking by the minute. So I don't know if like when you're talking about something I don't care about, maybe I'm thinking subconsciously like, shit, I'm wasting these minutes.
Maybe it's like a little bit of OCD.
Yeah, Betty hates that, dude, because like she's like, relax. Yeah, she's like, relax, dude. Like we're gonna make it. Like, and I'm just so like, we gotta go. We gotta do this. We gotta go pick this up. I gotta drop this off. I'm so like thing oriented. Where she's like, so yeah.
How does that translate in business though? How does that work for you? Like, do you have to put on a mask? Because put it this way, like I've told clients before, like, listen, I just want to give you a heads up. I'm not feeling well today. Then that's pretty much the extent of that. I'll tell them like, listen, I have a moderate anxiety disorder. So if I just get up and go outside for a quick breath, don't worry, don't panic. There's nothing wrong. I just got to get a breath of fresh air. That's all it is.
So you tell people.
If I need, like, if we're going to spend 2 or 3 hours together and I'm feeling it like the night before, if I drank a lot or something, that causes like really bad anxiety the next day. So if it's like a Sunday appointment and we're at the dealership and I'm feeling it just like come in, I'll tell them, listen, don't panic. If I get up to just go outside for a quick breath unannounced, don't stress. I'm just going outside real quick just to get some fresh air. And they'll ask me, is everything okay? I'm like, yes, but I really want to say no.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. And those people, they catch a hint, like something's up, but you got to let them know is essentially what I'm telling you. I do let people know sometimes. Like I got my very close friends. I got Anto, I got Rafi. I'll tell them like, listen, guys, I'm having anxiety. I can't drive. Remember we were at the wedding in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't see me driving that whole weekend, did you?
No.
No, it was Sako driving the Tahoe the whole weekend.
Yeah. And usually you drive. That's right.
Yeah, I always drive. We went to LA again with Rafianto and Kevork. And I didn't drive once. And they asked me, like, Adi, why aren't you driving? I'm like, so I don't kill you guys if I pass out.
Wow.
They're like, why would you pass out? So.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I didn't know that. So, yeah, from now on, I'll be
passed out. I haven't passed out since that episode. Just FYI.
It's just in your head now, and it's just kind of, yeah, I get it, man. But for me, I do put a mask on, right? So for me, yeah, meeting new people is awkward. It is, right? I don't know, man. Like, it's weird because, like, people like say, oh, I'm kind of outgoing, but I'm not. It's
selective.
Yeah, like if I'm around people I know, like I'm very outgoing, I'm, cracking jokes, being sarcastic. But yeah, if it is like a newer group, like I'm very it's very awkward for me because it's like, hey man, what do you do? Is
it me or is my camera, my webcam pulsing? It's losing focus.
It's me when I like bang the table.
It's so weird. I'm not going to cut this out. I just want people to know I keep on looking and my webcam is pulsing. But
yeah.
So when you're meeting new people, do you think you act strange or you're just acting like just very brick wall and like kind of like tough guy?
So yeah, I've actually there's been like friends from the past where they're like, hey, when we met you, we thought you were like a real like hard ass or thing, like very serious. But it's me just kind of analyzing shit, kind of like processing it. And it sucks in business, right? Because like I have to meet, that's why I could call people, right? Because it's not face to face. And I could be more a little bit myself. But when I meet someone, I'm at an open house or I'm meeting someone for a new appointment where we're meeting, it's a little awkward for me. And I'm sure people could feel it.
I feel like that's a blessing, though.
Why?
Because I'm very, very nice regardless. And some people perceive it as like a sleaze bag. Like, this is too nice. Like, you can't trust somebody that's too nice.
Yeah, especially in car sales, right?
Yeah, but I'm just put it this way. Regardless, I can give a fuck less if somebody thinks, oh, this guy is too nice. I'm a nice person. I like to be nice, especially in business. You always want to be nice, but that's not going to necessarily yield you the best results, nor is it going to yield you the best perception of yourself, their perception of you. But I can't stop that. That's just my natural instinct, is just to be nice, put on a smile, and just go with it. That's why I'm saying it might be a blessing in disguise, Shant, that you're like this, because you can sort of stay neutral. You can sort of stay Switzerland on these people until you decide, are these people, is it worth them, or is it worth you being nice to this person? Or does it feel like maybe this person's we're probably not going to do business together anyway?
Yeah, that's why it's funny because, in real estate, doing open houses, right? People think, oh, you're doing open house. So open houses is to meet new clients, right? That's kind of why realtors do open houses, okay? Which is fine. That's why people are like, Sean, why don't you do open houses? You know how to speak to people, this, that. You know how fucking awkward it is when a weird, strange person walks into a house and I have to be like, hey, how you doing?
That's normal for me, man. I can do that all day. I know what you're talking about, though. It's just
my God. It gives me a headache, dude. I'm like, fuck, man. I got to talk to this person and be like, yeah, aren't these walls amazing? And this fucking...
Such a beautiful paint.
Yeah. Check out this kitchen, the cabinet. Wow. I can't do that. To me, it's like...
This is Benjamin Moore 114.
Yeah. To me, it's like, yeah, this is 4 walls and a roof. Pretty much similar to every other house out there. Same fucking, yeah, same 4 walls and a roof.
All 7 of these homes back to back, they're just going to be the same. So if you're planning on going to the one next door, just keep in mind, built by the same guy. Same guy.
So to me, it's very difficult being in a sales business to. So yeah, it's challenging, man. It is challenging. That's why I like doing video, because I could be myself in a thing way. That's why I like calling people. But yeah, meeting people, it's kind of weird to me. Yeah.
So I snap out of my anxiety the moment that I'm about to meet somebody new, or if I'm about to talk to somebody that I want to talk to. And it sucks because the moment that I stop, it'll take me like a few minutes to realize that I'm by myself again, or like I'm not doing anything, and then like I'll start to like feel things.
So
yeah,
you've been having anxiety for a while. So two things, because I'm sure there's people listening who have anxiety. I probably have anxiety. I just haven't been able to. It's probably different form, right? I react to it maybe differently. So since you're aware of it, right? How does it affect your day to day? And then B, how do you win at it? Like, how do you control it? How do you get by? Just so someone could,
So I think it's something that you've got to be well aware of. It's almost like you have to learn yourself. You have to understand what it is exactly that's causing you to feel this way.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you that not seeing somebody professionally for this is unnecessary. Like, definitely reach out to a doctor or a therapist or something. You can't let it go not treated. Like, the most simplest form of this, the reason why people see therapists is so that they can be reminded that they're not alone. I don't have a therapist. I don't have antidepressants. I don't have any of these things. I'm aware of them. But the thing that's helped me out a lot is I look at this anxiety as almost like a blessing, because it puts me through the ringer, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. So it's made me very, very well aware of myself, to the point where I know my limits. I know there is not a feeling or an emotion or a sensation that I haven't felt yet. So if we're in the middle of and it's fucked, man, because I'm so desensitized.
Mm-hmm.
And people ask, like, why, or like, what? Like, is because of this. Is because of this fucking anxiety, man. Like, I could literally just watch a house burn down. No change. Like, it's just very, very, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm just whatever. Because it's not me that's burning down.
It's
fucked up, bro. It really is fucked up. But it has made me a beast compared to when it first started. And I'll tell you what really got me sort of in this mode, in this like beast mode. One of my like very first girlfriends, like my third one in, I started having anxiety, and we were talking, and she was kind of like the tomboy, tom girl. What do you call those?
Tom girl, tomboy,
whatever.
Tomboy. Yeah.
Very good, very guyish.
Yeah.
When it comes to like thinking and like what she likes, who she likes hanging around with. So she was like, I feel like if I dropped you in the forest or like the jungle, you wouldn't know what to do.
Fuck.
Yeah, she said
like a smack in the face, bro.
Yeah. Like, I was just like wait a second. Like, I'm opening up to you, and I'm telling you, like, I'm having anxiety. And she said this, and it stuck with me. Like, you should probably not tell anybody about this, because you're gonna get kind of like looked at as like a bitch, basically. And it's kind of brought me to a point where I'm so completely comfortable talking about it with people, because it has nothing to do with if I'm able to actually like fend for myself. I'm a fucking beast now. I can do it, no problem. But now I can't do a lot of other stuff. So.
But do you think that's like, you still hold that inside you and you're like, I'm going to fucking go after it? Like I'm fucking going to prove her, not maybe her, but wrong.
I've already proved her wrong.
True.
I think understanding anxiety, she's in med school now. She's going to become a doctor.
Oh, congratulations.
She already knows how anxiety works. So I think I've already proved her wrong. I think more than anything, I prefer, if I can, if I know somebody has anxiety and doesn't really know how to cope with it, I prefer to like talk to them. Like I have an employee that is like deals with anxiety. And like I remember like a month or so ago, I was explaining to her how to look at it. So I follow this guy now, the anxiety guy. He actually has a podcast, and I want to get into listening to him. And she was having like an episode. She was having like an anxiety attack episode. And I'm like, listen, why are you feeling how you're feeling? And she goes, well, this and this happened. And I'm like, and how are you feeling? And she goes like, I'm getting dizzy and I'm getting antsy. And I'm like, do you remember that the last time that this happened, you started feeling dizzy and antsy and all this stuff? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, do you think that maybe that these things happen because you remember the last time that thing made you feel this way? Yeah. So she started to like realize, holy fuck, he's right. And now every single time she starts to feel those symptoms that cause her to have panic attacks, she starts to basically tear down that from happening, the panic attack from happening. Yeah. And she's thanked me for it. So I think it's not even so much proving anybody right. I can give a fuck less about proving anybody wrong. I think anybody knowing that I have severe anxiety and still be able to come to work or put in the hours, do YouTube, be in front of clients, that there is hope. There's a lot of hope in being able to still carry on and be a fucking beast in it.
Yeah. And I mean, I hopefully, this out of the 7-8 people that listened, and hopefully one of them, if they do have it, they could, like take this and maybe it'll help them out a little bit. And for me, and we'll probably end on this, that, how I deal with it, and it's not as severe or nowhere near severe as you, it's just kind of like how I get through the awkwardness, right? Being in a business where you have to be face-to-face is, I choose to do things that's as little face-to-face as possible, right? So I try to pick and choose how to do it, but eventually you have to go face-to-face, right? And I think what's helped is just, like, first of all, you have to just realize you have to do it, and B, just as you do it a little bit more and more, it gets a little bit easier. Because I think me growing up, like you said, I was a very shy kid. I was very introverted. Basketball helped, right? So me doing this, me getting in front of people, me getting in front of speaking to people, me doing a podcast, it helps little by little, makes it a little easier. It is more draining for me, but you know what? The more you do it, the more it just helps you. So you just have to fight through a little bit.
Shant, what you were just talking about was exposure. So what there is now, that's not, it's considered some form of therapy, but it's it's looked at as non-traditional therapy. It's cognitive behavioral therapy. So if I were to tell you right now, Shant, we're going to go to a networking event, you'd be like, fuck, I don't want to do it. But I'm like, Shant, you got to understand, the last time that you were at one of these things, before you were going, you were also feeling like this. You were also feeling like you didn't want to go, but then you went and you were fine. And not only you were fine, but you picked up a few numbers there.
Yeah.
So it's constantly, it's a rewiring of your thought process, your behavioral thought process.
Yeah.
And knowing and relating the feelings that you're having now to a previous feeling. So it has nothing to do with just my anxiety, Shant. It has a lot to do with everything. You think about something a certain way, like you see one of my Instagram stories, and your immediate reaction to it is you want to exit it, or you want to go to the next one, right? For the normal person. But what if there was an important message in that?
Yeah, I get it. That makes sense, man. That does. I still won't do a networking event. I went to one, and it was the fucking most miserable thing I've been to, just standing there like an idiot.
I don't like them either, but not so much because I don't like to meet people. It's just I don't like to put myself out there like that. I like to like remember like last episode, I like to be asked to sell you the pen. I don't want to go up to you and sell you the pen, with the pen being myself. So I like to be approached, and how I'm 100% with you. But sometimes it's good to just understand that every single time you're about to do something and a thought crosses your mind about not wanting to do it, you've got to relate it to a previous time. And if that helps push you to do whatever it is that you're having anxiety about doing, then I think that's really, really important to take away from this episode is if you do it once, or if you think it once, you're constantly going to think it, and you can break that thought process very easily just by remembering that you thought that last time. I will go to the gym, bro. I promise. I'll start.
Please. Otherwise, I'm going to have to yell at you. So go to the gym. For anybody that is introvert, the book that I was referring to was Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World So the power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking.
Wow.
So good book, very good book for anyone that is an introvert, kind of help you out. It kind of made me think of some stuff. The points that you had, Adi, were really, really good, and I think effective for people to just kind of fight through. Just get to the gym, man. Fucking just get to the gym.
If you guys are interested in hearing the person that I'm talking about that was very, very helpful for me and still is very helpful for me, he's online, the Anxiety Guy.
Anxiety Guy. Cool.
Yeah, he talks a lot about anxiety and cognitive behavioral therapy. So it has nothing to do with like yoga or anything like that. He talks a lot about why you think what you think and how to start not thinking that way. So, but Shant, I had a lot of fun talking about this with you. I think for maybe next episode, we can refocus on business a little bit, because by then, hopefully I'll have sold a car.
Yeah. So there's two things you have to do by next week. Sell a car, go to the gym. That's it. Done. Simple.
I'm working on it, okay?
For me, I'll just go up to a random stranger and say hi. How about that?
The gym kind of gives me anxiety because that's a lot of opportunities to pass out. There's so many opportunities to pass out there. On the elliptical, do you think maybe the elliptical is a safe place to pass out?
Elliptical's probably your best bet because you're just kind of
rowing. The rowing is probably a good one because I'm seated.
That's hard though, man. That's a lot of fucking work. Elliptical's easy. You know, it's just kind of ding, ding, ding. But just get in there, man. Just show up. You know what I heard? A good tip. Someone was like, this guy made himself. He's like, okay, this guy wanted to go to the gym. He said, just go to the gym and just show up for 5 minutes and then leave. Just get there, because people have anxiety going to the gym. It's a real thing.
I know.
There's people. So he's like, Monday through Friday, go to the gym, just show up, 5 minutes, sit there and leave. And just build the muscle of being able to show up.
Behavioral therapy.
Yep, exactly. So this was good, man. This was good. I'm glad we talked about this stuff, learned some new things about
eye-opening.
Yeah.
You proud of me, bro?
Yeah, man. I'm happy you got that out. I'm glad I learned that about yourself. It's good to put it out there. Probably makes you feel a little bit better. Yeah. Next week's going to be good, man. I don't know what we're talking about, but I feel it's going to be good.
It's always good talking to you.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys.
Good night, Shant.
Good night.